Patty shared it. Who we got right here? Big Mama
The better half.
Rood.
Better half.
We're going to talk about what I'm going to do when Big Mama stops paying me rent. Because don't think she doesn't pay me rent. She pays. What's up, Justin?
I'm paying my cooking.
In other ways, too. Bobby Blue. Man, that's a cool name. Bobby Blue. Ed, what's up?
My boy, Blue.
You my boy, Blue? You my boy. Hope everybody's doing good. What's up, Eric? Let a few people hop on. Please share and invite. What's up, Chris? Up here on the porch again, doing my typical Sunday night Facebook Live, talking shop, talking economy, talking finances, talking rent, talking landlording, and talking what the hell are we all going to do if everybody stops paying rent? Huh? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What am I going to do? What is the world going to do? Right?
And you have to be prepared because they already announced they didn't have to pay.
Yep. So you got to be proactive, right? I appreciate that, Eric. Yep. So let's talk about landlording, right? What's up, Nick? Let's talk about landlording right now because a lot of people are talking about landlording, like, and it's man, it's like everybody's worried they're not going to pay, and what do you do if you don't get paid? And kind of want to go game out a few scenarios of what I've thought about and what's what could possibly happen, because it's a good possibility it's probably going to happen. If the economy stays still like it is, probably at least, the whole world's on shutdown. I would think at least 50 to 60, maybe 70% of Americans are going to lose their job, right? How is that going to affect people like me and you who are landlords, and maybe you are renting right now? Maybe you're renting a property. So let's talk about the whole gamut of it. You may be a tenant, right? We should talk about it all, right? So if you're on here, please share and invite. I'm gonna give you my honest to God opinion on it. No bias, no agenda, just logic, right? I try to think logically in what's the greatest good for the greatest number of people. And here's my 2 cents, right? If all the tenants across, and this is the honest to God truth, guys, if all the tenants across the country stop paying rent, you have a problem, right? But who's got a bigger problem than you after that? The banks. Because at the end of the day, guys, if the whole country, or I say most of the country doesn't have jobs, and your tenants can't pay, therefore you can't pay your mortgage, and let me back up. Obviously you need to have some reserves. I have reserves. I can pay my my rent and I can pay my mortgage for a while before it gets really bad, right? And maybe you're a tenant landlord and you don't have that luxury yet. So that's terrible, Kurt. I'm sorry to hear that, brother. The thing about it is, if you should have some reserves if you're a landlord. And if what happens is if your tenants, if half the population that are renting stop paying, do we have a problem as a landlord? Yes, some of us do. But if the whole country, or let's just say 50, 60% of the whole country is not paying rent, guess who's got the biggest problem? It's not the tenants, it's not the landlords, it's the banks. Nobody's saying that, right? And I'm not saying don't pay your bankers, because I know my bankers are going to come on here and say, Chris, you're doing Facebook Lives telling everybody not to pay the banks. Hey, listen, Casey, Tony, Carrie, all my bankers that are lending me money right now, this live is not for you. All my banker buddies don't watch this, right?
You have to have.
But I'm just telling you,
plan.
but you have to have a plan, and what I'm telling you is, honest to God, this is what I'm going to do. Honestly, this is the exact steps that I'm going to do. If let's just say they stop paying within the next, 90 to 120 days, I'm like, okay, this is dumb. I can't keep on paying. I ain't got my skills hat on. Patty, go grab my skills hat. I can't do a live without my skills deals hat. What am I going to do, right? After say 2, 3, 4 months, they just not paying. What do you do? Dude, I'm going to have a hard conversation with my banker, and I'm going to be totally intentional, totally honest, and talk to him and say, hey, look, man, you know what's going on. You see what's going on in the economy. How can you help me? What can you do? Can we push back this? Can you give me, some good faith the next 2 or 3 months? That's the honest God truth. That's what you're going to probably have to do. And by then, honestly, the economy will probably be back on track. There may be some government assistance to help out small businesses, what I'm hearing. And there's going to be I know there's going to be some government assistance to help out the tenants, right? Right? Yeah, now I feel like Batman, right? I had to put on my real hat. So anyway, but you have to understand that, dude, like the whole planet's got a problem right now. The whole planet's got a problem. So it's like we're all sitting here. That's right, Travis, is a good possibility that could happen too, I mean, so everybody's worried about, oh, if my tenants don't pay, I'm going to evict them, yada, yada, yada. I mean, you can't. For one, you can't. Two, I get what you're saying. It's not their fault too, man. Like, I'm like, you got to look at both sides. Like, am I going to kick out a family that lost their job and, I'll probably give them some concessions. I mean, I'm not just going to kick them out. Like, I'd probably give them 2 or 3 months to get back on their feet. Like, you got to, there's a fine line between running a business and being ethical, right? There's a fine line between that. And yes, do we have to make money to pay our mortgage? Yes, absolutely. But guys, like at the end of the day, everybody's freaking out. I'm seeing Facebook posts and like how to, I'm kicking out all my tenants if they don't pay and yada, yada, yada. Guys, I'm worried about it, but I'm not letting it consume me. You gotta expect. I haven't really talked about it. Like I haven't been that worried about it. I'm really. My wife is asking me like, hey, what are we gonna do if all our tenants don't pay? Well, what are the banks gonna do if all the tenants don't pay? Because it ain't just gonna be me. It's gonna be every landlord in the country is gonna have a problem, right? How did who had said? I think it was Trump said. He said something to the degree a long time ago before he's president. He says when you have a few $1 million in loans for the bank, you have a problem. But when you got billions of dollars in loans, the bank's got a problem after that, right? And that's the problem. The bank's gonna have a problem because it ain't just gonna be you. It ain't just gonna be me. It's gonna be the whole world. So we're gonna all have to come together, work with one another, and help each other, right? Like we can't just throw everybody underneath the bus, And I'm not some socialist, communist, no, I'm a human being. Like, dude, like everybody's gonna suffer. Everybody's suffering right now, So I'm gonna basically, like, if I start going through reserves and I can't pay my mortgage no more, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go talk to my banker and say, hey, man, like, what's going on? What can you do to help me right now? What can you do to help me get through this? You think all these banks want to take back billions of dollars of real estate right now? You think they want that on their plate right now? No, they don't want that plate. They're going to work with everybody. They're going to have to. They ain't going to have a choice, right? I guess this is a major correction in our business. A lot of these landlords have no business being landlords, maybe. Well, that is true too. And it goes back to, guys, you got to listen. I've been through this. I got hosed in 2014 when I bought a bunch of properties. Prior to that, I've overpaid. I overpaid, and I just never. Heather says, shirtless doing it live.
Well,
I mean, I'm at the beach. I mean, I can't wear. I have to have a fucking shirt on. But you run the live, or you like the live police?
She might like it.
Well, maybe she does, but well, maybe okay, maybe.
She might like you.
I guess so. Maybe I'll take. Hey, don't cross the line with me. I get a little upset sometimes. But yeah, if I want to walk around with no shirt on, hey, if I don't want to walk around with no drawers on around here, if you know what drawers are, it's underwear. I'm from South Louisiana.
I won't let him do that.
Anyway, back to the live. That's right. A lot of people probably overpaid for properties. I know in 2014, I got freaking hosed. 2014.
You got fucking shit on.
I got shit on? What?
You got shit on. That was bad.
No, I got hosed, and yeah, I got shit on. So I lost a lot of money in 2000, from 2014 to 2016 when the oil and gas crisis. Why? Because I overpaid for properties. So much so that there was no buffer between the gap that you lose in appreciation and the loss of value in equity when you have a correction from what you paid to what you have captured in equity. There's no buffer. You make money when you buy, guys. Even as a landlord, you can't buy it 90, 95 cents on the dollar, because when you have a correction, what happens is you lose all that equity. If you buy 90 cents on the dollar, we have a 15, 20% equity drop, which there's a good chance we will. You're going to lose all your equity, right? Right? So you got to be careful. Like, this is why I teach the direct to seller method of buying properties and going direct to seller. I got a deal right now. I'm not even going to tell you where it's at because I don't want nobody on here trying to go after it, because it's literally in my backyard.
Yeah.
Literally.
Don't go jacking a deal.
Yeah, don't go jacking my deal. So I'm not going to tell you till I put it under contract tomorrow, but it's a smoking hot deal. And there's such a buffer. The property appraised for $875,000. I'm probably going to pick it up for $500,000 to $600,000. So I have such a buffer, and it's a short-term vacation property. I have such a buffer to lose that even if we have a 20% correction, I'm still in the black, right? The problem with most investors is they overpay for properties. Now, you can go different styles, and you can say, you know, I know there's different ways of doing this, because I know a lot of investors, like, you know, take a look at Grant Cardone, right? Grant Cardone has a, you know, the motto of, hey, I'm just going to buy in great areas, hold on for long-term appreciation, I'm going to pay a premium. That probably works in the big boy game where you're buying hundreds of millions of dollars worth of property. I'm not in that game. I don't have the luxury of buying those kind of properties. So when you're buying premium properties like that, maybe that works in that game. I don't know that game that well. So I know I have to work really hard for my properties. Like, I have to dig deep and find motivation, find properties where I can capture equity. What's up, Bill? What's up, Ray Abood? I have to go and find and work hard to get properties where I can, you know, capture equity to buffer myself. This is why, like, you should be very, very selective when you're buying and holding. You know, is it a property that you can actually have a correction in the marketplace, have a 20% correction, and still not lose your shirt, like me, right?
So protected.
Right? Like, because I lost my shirt in 2000. Well, I almost did. I mean, I basically got my ass handed to me. Alex, thoughts about what Grant Cardone is doing, shutting everything down? How bad is it? I mean, my thought is, I mean, you know, Grant's always been a big mentor of mine, and, you know, it's like, I don't know his game, right? He's in a game of buying hundreds of millions of dollars of properties and premium, you know, paying a premium for it in premium areas, though. So I don't know how I know he made it through 2008, so he's doing something right.
Yeah.
He made it through 2008, so he knows he's doing, you know, he did something right? What if the government prints a shitload of money and super displaces the value of it? Listen, Paul, they are printing money right now. They've already announced they're doing more quantitative easing. They're going to print $1 trillion to give to everybody. It's going to have some long-term inflation rates, you know, as far as, you know, there's no way you do that kind of stuff. There's no way you do that kind of stuff and get away with it, right? I mean, you can't just print $1 trillion out of thin air and give it to everybody for free, which I guess it wasn't free. They taxed us for it, but it's still getting borrowed from the Federal Reserve, right? So you got to make sure that, you know, I don't know, dude, it's just, if I had a crystal ball, like, I'd probably be a billionaire. I don't have a crystal ball. I just know I've been through 2 crashes, and I know that this is my 3rd one now. I've never been through a virus crash. I've been through a housing crash. I've been through an oil and gas crash. This is my first virus crash, and this virus crash is crashing everything. It's kind of weird.
It's new for everyone. Huh?
John says bullets are going to become currency. Hey, 100% with you, John. Me and John, I told John to go pick up some 9mm. Listen, for all you guys that laughed at me when I was prepping all these years, hold on. Let's see. Hold on. What? Say it.
I laughed at him.
Say
he
it.
took a whole room in our house for a prep room.
Say it out loud. Say it out. Say it out. Say it one more time for the folks in the back. Say it out loud for the folks in the back to hear, because for 10 years you thought I had a tinfoil hat and you thought I was crazy. How long have I told you the economy is going to crash?
Long enough. and you have enough bullets
For a small army? How many AR-15s we got?
I don't even know. It takes up a whole room in our house.
I got an arsenal, guys.
Yes.
And don't you think you're going to come to my house and take my shit. It ain't going to be pretty.
Wait, tell them about the food you have too.
The stored up food?
I'm like, we're never gonna eat this shit. It's like dried food in a box.
Yeah. Yeah, well, hey, it happens, right? I don't look that crazy right now. I look like a genius right now. Let's see, let's take some questions. Eddie White says Grant Cardone is very scared right now, highly leveraged on luxury rentals. I mean, I can't disagree with you, Eddie. I can't disagree with you on that. Gee, I know he's probably, I mean, shit, I don't know. I love Grant to death, you know, do I think he's over leveraged? Shit, I don't know. I know that, I really don't know. I don't know because I don't play the big boy game of buying those type.
I mean, anybody
But I mean, he did put 30% down on all his deals, so he might have not captured equity like a lot of, you know, lower end investors like me, you know, that play with just millions of dollars instead of hundreds of millions of dollars. I have to go in there and capture equity. Like if I can't capture equity on the front end, I don't buy it. It's got to be a motivated seller. It's got to be a good deal, a value add deal. With that said, on some deals, I don't have to put any money down because I capture so much equity. However, with Grant, he's buying cash flow. He's got so much money with Cardone Capital, he buys cash flow. He's putting 30% down and buying into the deal. So he's into the deal 60 cents on the dollar. So, or 70 cents on the dollar. And he's buying, yeah, where there's lots of jobs. So I don't know, you know, he may or may not. I'm sure, is he worried about it? Sure. I mean, fuck, I'm worried about my own stuff, right? But yeah. Cole, when you make a low ball offer, how do you validate that low of an offer to the seller instead of just getting rejected automatically? I love that question, Cole. You know how you do it? You're looking for that trick, that sleazy, slimy sales trick that you can tell somebody to make them convinced on why they should use you. Big Mama is with me. I made an offer today.
I could probably tell you the whole spiel.
Patty can tell you exactly. I'll let Patty say how I do it first. How I do it, Patty? What's the secret? What's the secret behind the secret that I do?
Well, Miss Buyer, I'm an investor, so I'm not buying this to live here. I'm buying this to either make a profit, rent out, fix up, and resell. All those different options. So if I can't make money on this deal, it's not worth buying for me. So this is my number, and then this is how much I have to put into it. And then this is how much I have to make. This is how much I have to pay the realtor. This is how much. You see the number? See the number, Miss Seller? If I can't get it for this number, like, I'm gonna walk away right now because it's not worth me buying this. It's too risky.
So basically, I'm totally transparent. I don't lie. I tell them, I state my intention. I tell them why I need to get it for that cheap. The reasoning behind it, because if I buy it, if I overpay, I can get hosed, I can get in a lot of trouble, and this is how I feed my family. Total 100% transparency, honesty, and truth. That's how I do it. You probably was thinking, oh, you say some kind of slick sales gimmick. No, dude, I'm intentional. I tell them why I need to get it, and if they're motivated enough to do it, they take it, right? If they don't, then they don't. I move on.
Or you say, well, you're probably not motivated enough to use my service, but if I was you, I would probably call a realtor.
That's it. That's my pitch. Okay, listen, I'm gonna open up PayPal right now. I expect everybody in this live to send me a couple $500 for my secret sales trick. I'm gonna open it up.
Honesty.
Complete honesty. There you go. You just got my my sales gimmick, which is not a gimmick, right? But there you go, Cole. I hope that helps, man. Be completely honest, transparent, and intentional, and know your numbers, right? And don't lie, right? Let's see, Travis. I think a lot of people are scared right now. I won't worry about what Grant is doing. His game is way larger than many of ours. That's exactly right, Travis. It's a totally different game. Like, I'm not worried about his game. I'm trying to work and master my game. How are you finding property 20% undervalued? Dude, I'm finding property way lower than 20% undervalued. I'm not, here's the difference between you and me, Phil. I'm not finding properties 20% below value. I'm finding people who are willing to sell their properties 40% undervalued. You're looking for properties, I'm looking for people. There's a difference. People sell properties. Properties don't sell properties. Motivated sellers agree to sell their properties 20, 30, 40, 50% below market value. You got to look for the right people, right? The right people are people who have had enough problems, or they, like, for instance, the short-term vacation rental that we're going to probably put in a contract tomorrow, basically, you know, she needs to sell. It's been on the market 6 months, and they have a property that they have in a contract that they want to buy, and the pain is so great that they're willing to sell it to me for like what they paid for it 10 years ago.
And physical pain.
And it's not even paint. And she has, and it's a 2-story house. They have to go up and down the stairs, and she needs 2 knee replacements. So she's just done with the property, and she's okay with me getting an awesome deal because I'm solving her problem, because nobody else wants to buy the property. But I'm getting a significant. We're going to get it at what? Probably 65 cents on the dollar, 60 to 65 cents on the dollar. It's probably worth it's worth about $875. We're going to get it for about $500.
That she's not really losing any money. That's what she paid for it that many years
Yeah,
ago.
she's not losing money. Honest, she paid. Yeah, she's been making income off the rentals for the past 10 years. She paid 500-something thousand for it 10 years ago. She's not losing. She's breaking. Well,
she's losing possible.
She's losing. She's losing the appreciated value. But at this point, it's not always, guys. You got to get over the fact that motivated sellers. Not everybody's worried about money, right? I've sold houses and lost $40,000 because I wasn't worried about the money. I just wanted to make the problem go away. Understand that. This is what I teach in all of my courses and in all of my real estate training. Like, you got to understand that people are not always worried about money. They want their problem to go away, and that's where you come in and get their property in a contract and make it, you know, make their problem go away. And they're happy to sell you their property at 60 cents on the dollar. Hope that helps. Paul, dude, my wage is gonna have way less value. I'm so fucked. I just got a pay cut already. Wow, I'm sorry to hear that, Paul. It's terrible. Yep. Eric, virus equals crash. Taylor, Travis, Goodwin agreed, and I'm glad I'm not in that game. Damn, John picked up 9K up of rounds. John, don't tell him where you live, brother. Shit, are you in California or Arizona? Because I know California's, the shit's hitting the fan in California.
Martial law over there?
They're talking about martial law?
They were talking
in California. I know everybody's on shutdown,
talking
right? I think California's completely shut down. I don't know if they've done martial law yet, but hopefully that didn't get to that point. Andrea says, I've been saying that, Chris. Now everyone's thought we were crazy. There you go, 100%. Colton, you think property owners are motivated enough to sell during this time? Could be great for whole. Absolutely, Colton. Listen, Colton. This is the best time. Listen, for all you guys that are watching me and following me, this is the best time to get into real estate. I know it's scary, like shit, everything's falling apart. The money is made on the way down. You know, and you're like, well, you sound like a scumbag taking advantage of people. You're not taking advantage of people. I'm helping them. Like, go on my Facebook pages of all my businesses: Baton Rouge Cash Home Buyer, Lafayette Cash Home Buyer, Mobile Cash Home Buyer, 850. Go see if I have 0 bad reviews. Why? Because I tell the truth and I get people out of properties that they want to get out of. Right. So, Nicholas says, Grand Corner is over leveraged. You can't believe that. A lot of the big players are worried. I can't.
Well, everybody's worried.
I think everybody's worried, Nicholas. I can't necessarily disagree with you, but dude, if you're not worried right now,
you got a problem.
You got a problem. Yeah, you got a problem, or you're a lot smarter than everybody else. One or the other. Tell me a secret. Eddie says, now I know why my grandparents had a stock of food and paper products. They went through shit before. 100%. Listen, guys, like, you got to prep. I'm sorry, like, you know, all these crazy prepper shows, like, I used to watch all that shit because I'm a prepper by heart. Like, I mean, I always think into the future. What if prepping is just insurance, right? It's just insurance, you know. So 100%, right? You should have always prepped. I mean, we've been prepping for years, but 10 years prepping at least. What's going on, Miss K? But you know, Larry says, had any tenants tell you that they can't pay rent? Larry, okay, I haven't had any tenants tell me they can't pay rent yet.
We actually still have people staying on our condo.
Yeah,
vacation rental.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we still have people staying in our vacation rental that's supposed to come in our house over here April 5th, and they haven't canceled. So I mean, but as far as my mobile home parks and apartments, we have not had anybody not pay rent yet. Now the first is coming around, but we haven't had anybody say, hey, we're not paying or can't pay. But I think you just have to get into real good communication with all your tenants, right? explain to them what's happening, ask them to do their best to pay. I would work with them first before you just kick them out, because I mean, everybody's going through tough times. Have good communication. Maybe you only charge them half. Maybe you drop the rent for a little while and they can make it up on the back end. If you charge them $800, maybe say, look, I'll charge you $500. Just pay it so I can pay my rent, or so I can pay my mortgage. And if it gets to the point where they can't even pay you that, that's what you got to have some reserves for. You got to have some reserves. And then once you get to the point where like maybe 2 or 3 months down the road and like nobody's paying and you can't pay the banks, well, guess what? You can go talk to the bank and have a hard conversation with them. Hey man, look, you know what's going on? How can you help me out? Let's extend my mortgage. Give me a grace period of 2 or 3 months to help me get through this. If you have any logical, good, solid communication with a banker that has any sense that's a solid company and they know what's going on, they don't want to take any of these properties back, right? They don't want to take any of these properties back. They're going to have a huge problem if half of America's landlords can't pay their mortgage. I promise you, they don't want these properties. Stay in good communication. Don't threaten your tenants. Don't be a total asshole about like this is tough times. Like everybody needs to come together and work through this, right? Larry says, my wife owns 100 units in a college town. I don't think a college town is going to be any problem, Larry. If it's all students, right? If it's all students from college, I mean, mom and dad are going to be paying that. I wouldn't worry about that. But if it's others, then yeah, you may have a problem. Hello from Europe. Same situation here. Oh, wow. Hello from what part of Europe, my brother? Daniel, what's a realistic time frame in getting rolling, starting with you? I mean, dude, you can start as soon as you want. Yeah, we could start tomorrow. I mean, the sooner the better, I'll be honest with you. I've been waiting for this time since 2014 when we had our last crash to let the market cool off to where we can get more deals. I mean, the time is now. Like, it's time to go to work, right? If you're a professional real estate investor like me, the time is now. It's time to buckle up and go to work. This is game time for it. This is the fourth quarter where we go to work. So, and if you're just wanting to get into the game, then don't overthink it. Just jump in. Daniel, inbox me. I know we've been talking back and forth. Let's roll. I'll call you tomorrow. Travis says, you help them convince themselves. That's exactly right, Travis. Let's see. Mike says, I competed with 2 other guys on a cash offer. Both people offered more. Getting the contract signed tomorrow. Use your people skills. They will want you to have the property because they're buying you. That's exactly right, Mike. Mike's one of my students, right? And Mike's getting trained by me. And Mike's already an awesome entrepreneur. He owns a couple other businesses. He knows how to talk to people. I told him when he first started this business that he's going to do well because this is a people business, right? It's a people business. He who has the best people skills wins, right? What is my brand? What is my hat? Skills get the deals. It's not cliche. It's not, it's not trying to be cool. It's just the truth, right? And it's people skills. What's up, Matthew? Let's see, Dustin. The takeaway pitch is exactly what it takes to buy houses deep. That's exactly right. And look, and once you take it away, if they're like, hey, I don't care, I don't want to sell it to you, then they're not motivated, right? Move on. You can't force motivation. Either they're motivated or they're not. They have a problem or they don't. Fernando, give them options. Use the comps. Offer to list it for them. Take over the payment or cash offer. That's a great point too, Fernando. Right now, there's going to be a lot of opportunity to do short sales. Like when the market's hot, you can't do a lot of short sales because you just can't, because people are buying. There's so many buyers in the marketplace, they buy up everything. But now, if there's a lot of foreclosures or pre-foreclosures, there's going to be a lot of opportunity to learn how to do short sale. Learn how to do short sale. Learn how to do subject to. Learn how to take properties over on owner finance, lease options, all these different strategies, right? He says, yeah, y'all been drinking some wine. Dude, I just started drinking. Look, I'm not some wino or something. I drink maybe a glass of wine. I only drink wine when I talk to you guys, to be honest with you. Yeah. Now, Patty, on the other hand, she's got a problem. No. She's got a drinking problem. No, she just did. She might have a glass of wine every other night. We don't drink much. We have one glass of wine. We drink, every once in a blue moon. So anyway, so right now is the perfect time to wholesale or no? Yes, absolutely, Travis. Go all in. $500 US. Let me go print that real quick. Wouldn't that be a thing, huh? Hey, listen, that's a good topic to talk about. Like, as consumers, as an average citizen like you and I, if we go and say, hey, Mr. Bank or Mr. Credit Card, Mr. Car Financier, I can't pay my car note this month, so let me go to the back. I'm going to go ahead and print up a couple 20, 30, $40,000 for you. I'll get you paid here in about a month. You go to jail. But when the government does it, it's okay, right? So I'm just telling you that. Think with that for a second and know what you're dealing with, right? Yeah. So I think I saw a sponsored ad for a discount on your course. Do you still have that? And does it work now in this market and pandemic? Absolutely. Yes, it's just for my course. You don't get the discount is 80% off of my course. You don't get any of my help though. It's basically you get my $500 course for $100, but it's just the course, you know. It's just information. If you really want to take it serious, you really need to do some group coaching or one-on-one so you can talk to me every day, because you're gonna have questions. Like you're gonna come across stuff and you're gonna have.
But they could upgrade.
Yeah, you can always upgrade. You create equity opportunities by the way to build rapport and explain your why. Absolutely, Dustin. That's a great point. Absolutely, 100%. Cole, do you use real estate software? I've been using Freedom Soft. Would love to hear what software you use. Dude, you know what software I use? You really want to know? You sure? Dude, I use Google Calendar. And it works. And we crush it. And it tells me everything I need to do. It reminds me, I put it in there. And like 3 days later, it tells me, it pops up and says, hey, you need to call this guy. You need to follow up with this guy. And it gives me their phone number and address and what we talked about. Dude, it works. And every now and then we pull out the best CRM I got, which is the notepad and pen. That thing is phenomenal. No, I'm just messing with you, Cole. But no, don't get overly...
He's a basic bitch.
I'm a basic kind of guy, dude. I'm not a millennial. I don't know how old you are. I'm not into super technology. But listen, the best CRM there is the one you actually use, guys. It could be a notepad. It could be Podio. It could be Freedom Soft. It could be Salesforce. It could be that I can get a chalk and just start writing all over the wall and just start writing follow up with, 123 Happy Street next Tuesday. It's the one you use, right? So don't get too caught up in overly like, oh man, I see these younger guys getting real estate. Man, I got the best CRM. It does this and that, and I'm like, okay, that's awesome. How many deals you doing? I ain't got no deals done yet, but I'm there, man. But my CRM is so awesome and it does this for me, and it follows up and it emails out this. Dude, how many deals you done? I'm working on it. Dude, get over yourself. Stop worrying about a CRM. Get deals done. Talk to people. Talk to buyers. Talk to sellers. Put deals together. Learn how to build rapport, right? Let's see. What's up, Jermaine? What's up, Kyle? What's up, Jonathan? Dustin. Motivated sellers. Everyone's motivated is very different. Let's see. You're providing a service that helps. That's right, Hope. Hope does this too. Yep, JJ, I truly appreciate you doing these daily videos. JJ, I ain't got nothing else to do. I ain't got no job. I ain't got no money. And I ain't got shit to do. So I might as well stay on Facebook. No, I'm just kidding you. I do have a job. I do have money. And I got stuff to do. I just got a lot more time on my hands. And we like stir crazy because, we try not to... We try not to drink that Mexican beer too much, so we've been staying home. But no, I appreciate the love, dude. I'm glad to give value and help you guys out. What's up, Mike? Marcos, where's the money going? Where's the money going? Where, Marcos? What you mean?
Are you glad you left Louisiana? Yes.
Abso-freaking-lutely.
We left on Mardi Gras Day, so we missed all the people giving each other Corona, because apparently it's so bad in Louisiana and they think it's because of Mardi Gras.
Louisiana's number one right now.
Yeah, we left the day of Mardi Gras to drive here, so we haven't been back.
Yep. So let's see. Brian says my beep. Chris Rood dropping knowledge. I can't say that word. You'll get me in trouble, Brian. Eddie White. Go after vacant properties. People that have been procrastinating, you can be there safety net. Absolutely, Eddie. I think a lot of absentee owners, people that own properties that are out of state, are going to really probably be the first ones to really start freaking out if their tenants stop paying because they're in a different state, and they're going to be worried, right? So it may not be a bad idea to pick up the phone, do some cold calling, send some direct mail, right? No, not martial law. My nephew is there. Okay, cool. Hope Brian just bought the whole gun store in Texas. Yeah, but I don't blame you, Brian. It's better. Listen, and people want to know why I prep sometimes. And we're getting off topic. It started off.
Have you seen The Walking Dead?
You know, Pat says, "Have you seen The Walking Dead?" Honestly, dude, I prep not because I want to. You know, dude, I literally have. If I had to guess, I probably got about 10 to 15, probably 12 to 15,000 rounds of different calibers, right? Probably more than that, to be honest with you. I don't prep because I'm going to war or fucking, going to be shooting up people. That's not going to get like that. And if it got total mayhem, and it would probably be, little skirmishes here and there, you'd be lucky if you shot 20 rounds, right? I stock up on ammo, food, water, filtration systems, and especially ammo for the barter system, right? That bullet will be worth 10 times what I paid for it if shit ever hits the fan, right? It's more or less for barter, right? I'll bet trade an AK-47 for a brand new Chevy truck, right? Shit hits the fan, I'll get I'll bet trade out an AR-15 for a fucking Corvette, right? That's really, honestly, why I've always prepped. And it's good, it's peace of mind, and it's insurance, guys, it's insurance, so. And guys, if you're just coming on here, I'm sorry, we talked about what I would do is, if people stop paying me as a landlord, so go back and rewatch it, and I kind of gave some tips and stuff. It's basic common sense. It's nothing that's going to be revolutionary as far as ideas, but it's good practical sense for you to help yourself. John says, blessing to you and your family. Chris, hey, I appreciate that, John. Yes, it is. You're absolutely helping sellers. I'm 24. After all this goes back tomorrow, I'm paying $800 for rent. Do you recommend me buying Class A to B fourplex with FHA loan, have tenants pay it down, and me try to pay it fast within 5 years? I live in one. Then use it as a collateral, $300,000 to get $1.2 million loan to buy more doors and so on. I mean, if it's your first deal, right now you're probably gonna better get a smoking hot deal on really good properties right now. Right now is the time to buy, guys. So actually, Daniel, absolutely, I would buy the best piece of property in the best area for the cheapest price, because right now it's going to go on sale. And we haven't seen this in, 12 years, right? That's right, Colton, you're being a blessing. Luke says, Governor shut us down starting tomorrow. Can't travel anywhere unless your job is important. That's true, Luke. I heard that. I talked to my attorney who's a state representative. He said the same thing. Which areas are you finding deals in right now? I mean, Travis, I'm finding deals everywhere. Florida, Mississippi. We have deals in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida right now. I have renters walking away, job loss expected. Absolutely, Michelle. I mean, it's kind of what we expected, right? So it's like, what do you do? So rewatch the video, and I give some tips and tricks on that. Sellers are begging to sell now, and that's the thing, right? You're gonna have for every economy that does really well, when there's an economy that does really bad, there's businesses that do really good, right? Food, wholesaling, any survival goods are going to do really good right now. So, Philip, when you're acquiring property at 60% off, are you paying cash or financing? It depends on the deal, Philip. If it's not a super expensive deal, and if I can get it, and if it's an awesome property, I'll pay cash. But majority of the time, I'm using lately I've been using private money and paying cash, and not using any of my own cash, and I've been using banks. But for the past probably 6 months, I've been using a ton of private money paying cash. Kay says, Chris, I don't know what that means. Kay, I'm thinking you're saying thank you. Okay. Oh, okay. I have Park City hotels and restaurants closed. Wow, that's so horrible, guys. Kay, Chris is very honest and upfront. I know that for a fact. Hey, I appreciate that, Miss Kay. Miss Kay's a good friend of mine. Been knowing her since I was a youngin' in my early 20s. Alan, what's going on? Spencer, Monica. Hey, I appreciate that, Miss Kay. Yeah, go to chrisrood.com, guys, if you're interested in my program. I've got students all over the country doing well, even in Canada. So, I mean, I can help you. You gotta want to help yourself though, because it ain't easy. It's gonna take work on your part. It's probably less harder than it's been in the past years now, because of what's going on with the economy. So right now is the time, guys. There's deals. I mean, we went to look at a deal today, right? In my backyard, literally. So I mean, there's going to be deals right now, more than they've been in a long time. Um, Paul, is anyone else in this chat in California or New York? Anybody else in here that's from California and New York? What's going on in those cities right now? What up, John? Hell yeah, we're number one. Yep, that's right, Luke. Marcos, besides real estate, what else can people be doing during this time to make money? Any service-based business, Marcos. A service-based business that when I say service-based, it's not a product-based. It's like something you're going to do. Landscape. Like, people are always going to have money in any economy. It's just going to tighten up and shrink. I would start a landscaping company, a wash and cleaning company, pressure wash houses, cleaning cars, cutting grass, plumbing. If you're not a skilled laborer, like if you don't have like a skill like an electrician or a plumber or a mechanic, dude, anybody can wash a car or paint. Why could anybody can paint, right? I say anybody. I mean, it takes a little bit of practice, but you know, there's all kind of stuff you could do. You just gotta want, right? You gotta really want it. What's the best strategy for cash buyers right now? Banded signs, guys. Ghost banded signs. That's gonna be your best approach. Okay, says of course we're number one at virus. Chris, do you own a tank M4 Sherman? Dude, if I could afford one, I'd buy one. Take a wait and see and be ready to jump on deals. Yep. This is going to be a time when we all see the making of millionaires. Absolutely, and especially in real estate, guys. Like, it's going to be like in the early 30s when we had the Great Depression. There was more real estate millionaires made than any time in history. In 2008, when the economy crashed, so many people got rich off of real estate. A lot of people went broke from real estate because why? They overpaid. They did just like I did in 2014 or 2012 to 2014. They didn't go direct to seller. They didn't buy cheap enough. They didn't buy deals. You gotta buy deals. Real estate is simple: buy low, sell high. So I'm gonna buy up as much stuff as I can right now. I'm gonna let the market spool back up. Probably hopefully in the next 6-7 years, that things will be back to where they were now. Maybe less than that. Maybe in 2 or 3 years. Hopefully a year. You never know, right? And and you gotta sell a few properties at the peak of it's all timing, right? It's all, it's just timing. Buy, sell. Start buying, let it go back up, sell. That's it. That's the model, guys. I'll send you my PayPal account. Send me all of you guys, send me $500. I'm giving you too much value. Anyway, guys, let's see. Mike says direct to seller marketing will be huge. Donald Trump voice in the coming months. Yep, absolutely. Yes, New York City here. What's it like, Daniel Jr.? What's it like in New York City right now, my brother? Larry, Allison, Barry, I just asked Chris about his renters. Sounds like his all are paying rent still, but if they don't, should work with tenants. Talk to bank ahead of time just in case it lasts. The banks don't want to take property back no matter who or what the bank is. They don't want to take it back, and the headache that goes. That's exactly right, Larry. Just have a conversation with your bank. I've already called my banker. I called my banker earlier this what was it? I called him Thursday, late last week, to have the conversation with him. Yes, I have a couple rentals in California. It's going to get crazy. Great deals to be soon. What's up, Ryan? Ryan's one of my students from Canada who's crushing it. New York pretty much shut down as of tonight. Wow. Have you ever purchased one of your students' deals? I have. A guy named Christian. Matter of fact, he was from Destin, right? Before I moved to Destin, I bought one of his deals. Christian Zula. Is it Christian Zula? Yeah, Zuleta. What did we buy? I don't remember. We bought a flip from him over in Panama City. Oh, okay. Let's see. Best value, Chris. I appreciate that. Ryan says everyone wants to burr real estate, but they have the wrong acronym. Buy, right, regardless, and repeat. That's exactly right, Ryan. Like, it don't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, it's all about how you buy it, and I look, and it's about location too, because you can't just. I learned this too. Like, I don't care how good of a deal is, how high the cap rate is. It ain't worth catching a cap. Buy in good, decent areas, guys. Buy in good, decent areas. Like, I've done that, right? I've been there and done that, where I've, bought super cheap properties, right? Super cheap properties in really bad areas, like in H style. I've got all these indentions in my head. When I say H style, that means hell. That's, you know, you got A, B, C, D, F. Like, it was below F, it was hell, and it ain't worth it. Like, do not buy. Like, it ain't worth it. Like, you're gonna hate your life. Like, it ain't worth buying. Like, buy in a decent. If you're gonna buy in a D plus or C minus, at the worst, right? So, what are your thoughts on digital marketing agencies thriving during this time? I don't know. I have I don't know enough to even give you my opinion about that, Marcos. I'm not going to tell you anything I don't really know. Larry says, Chris, your feed and interaction at a smaller scale than Grant is great. Having the experience and knowledge at a reasonable size that people can relate to. Thanks for the content and communication. Hey, I appreciate it, brother. I know, Larry, I've always thought that I try to speak to everybody, right? Because most people can't do what Grant does. Like, it's just not, you know, most people aren't there, right? You know, so I show you how to get into real estate. I show you how to, I've been through the good, the bad, and ugly. It's just, most real estate investors are like you and I, guys. They're just average Americans. They're looking for a better way to get a return on their investment, and they're looking to leave a legacy to their kids. You know, that's what most people in America are trying to do, and they want to do it with real estate, right? What are your thoughts on wholetailing in this market? Are you slowing down the wholesales? Yes, I am, Ryan. I'm probably not going to wholesale anything, to be honest with you, because I mean, let's take a look at what's going on. Like, I don't even know if we're going to be able to even close on properties. Like, wholesaling may get disrupted in the next 2 to 4 weeks, because I don't even know if we can close on properties, right? So maybe in the next 30, like, I don't really know. In the next 30 to 60 days, if people go back to work, then yes. If in the next 30 to 60 days people go back to work, I'm gonna definitely, I'll take a look at that again. But right now I'm playing it super safe. We're gonna wholesale everything, except for like really good buying holes. Is, you know, if I get an apartment or a mobile home park or a short-term vacation rental that I get for a good deal, which I just got a phenomenal short-term vacation deal today. We're going to probably keep that deal. We're going to probably pick it up for $500,000 to $600,000, and we got an appraisal on it appraised it 2 months ago for $875,000.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
2 months ago it appraised for $875,000. Great area, great location. So, anyway, guys, just to recap, you know, for you guys that are just coming on, what to do if you're a landlord. First thing you got to do, if your tenants stop paying, get in good communication with them. You know, you got to tell them they can't use this as an excuse to not pay rent either, you know, especially because they're going to get a bunch of money from the government here soon. They've got to be willing. What's up, Tyler? They got to be, you know, they got to still pay their rent. Like, you know, and if they just, what's up, Benjamin? You know, they can't use this as an excuse not to pay rent, which some of them will, guys, at the end of the day. But just have good communication, good dialogue. Then, if you know, if you feel like you go on negative cash flow, you should have some reserves. Hopefully you do. If you don't have any reserves, you know, you should always have some reserves, but talk to your banker. What, Patty?
I would just maybe not do as many updates. Maybe.
Yeah. Somebody says, was your wife always on board? Love to hear her thoughts.
First of all, your wife was always in real estate before you. Don't
True.
forget that.
She was.
I don't think people know that. I was actually in real estate way before Chris was, and found him and sold most of the deals before he got into real estate. And I can remember as a little girl in high school being obsessed with floor plans of houses. Like, I wanted to be a builder. So, like, I always loved real estate. And yeah, so I think it's just slowly converted to where you were in it too. But yeah, I was in it first.
Yep. I hope that answers your question, David. But Paul says, random question, are you familiar with the fall of Rome and the inflation that occurred with that government? Yes, I am, Paul. I've done a lot of research on Rome. Rome went through massive inflation, massive printing of their money supplies, but they didn't have a printing press 2,000 years ago, right? So what they would do is they had gold coins at first, and they started using silver, then they started using bronze, and they started using different metals, and they would start cutting their metal and mixing it with other metals, so they were devaluing their currency because they were trying to create more money supply, right? And it seems like every great empire eventually does that over time and ruins their money supply. And I mean, we're there, dude. Like we're there. We've pretty much ruined our money supply. I mean, we have $22 trillion going on 23 trillion. We're going to print another trillion to help cover all, what's going on in the economy. It's just going to be more debt. Somebody's got to pay that off. But I don't know. Hopefully, I don't know. I got this weird feeling in my gut that something's going to change soon with the money supply. I think they're going to get rid of the Federal Reserve. You know what happened last time a president tried to get rid of the Federal Reserve. Mr. John F. Kennedy tried to get rid of the Federal Reserve, and he took a cap to the head, right? So we all know that story, and we all know who runs the Federal Reserve. It's an evil empire, guys. It's an evil banking cartel of privately owned, super rich people around the world, the Rothschilds, the Warburgs, the what's the other guy's name? But read The Creature from Jekyll Island if you want to know about what's going on with the banking system. And it's perpetual debt, guys. It's perpetual debt we'll never be able to pay back, right? They print money out of thin air, and charge us interest on it. It would be like me giving you something for nothing, like that I didn't have to work for, and you would pay me for it. It would be, let me give you an example. It would be like me going and picking that rose, they got some roses you can't see, picking the petals off that rose and giving it to you, and I got it for nothing, it was free. And I say, hey, you need to pay me for that. You need to pay me interest for those rosebuds. No difference. They print money out of thin air backed by nothing but a mountain of debt, and they charge us interest on it. And it's Rockefeller. That's right, David. That's the other guy whose name I was looking for, Rockefeller. And they're all, is a few couple families in the world that they run the planet, guys. They run the planet. They set policy. They orchestrate everything. They control the money supply. What did Rothschild say back in England 150 years ago? He says, I don't care who gets into office as long as I control the money supply, or something to that. I don't know the exact quote, but it was basically that extent. I don't care who runs the government. All I care about is if I can control the money, right? So anyway, guys, don't want to get into a bunch of conspiracy theorist stuff, because the last Facebook Live I did about 4 nights ago got me a lot of heat, right? I don't usually talk about that. I usually talk about real estate all the time. I try to keep it real estate, but I was hot that night. I was sick of hearing about all this drama. But yeah, they run the banks, media, and corporations. Absolutely, the media, everything. They set the mindset of the people, because people believe whatever the media says, because they don't have any other access. I get a lot of my information from alternative medias that don't have an agenda, that are not getting paid.
Studied this,
and I've studied, I've put in, I'd say not even hundreds, probably thousands of hours in studying who runs the planet, what's going on with their banking, what's going on with the money supply, what's going on with the media, what happened in World War I and World War II, and what were the ramifications of that, why. To understand why the world is the way it is now, all you gotta do is understand World War I and World War II. And I'm gonna get into a big old dissertation on that, but democracy did not win World War II, guys. Communism did. Communism won World War II. It's why half of Europe turned communism, and